How you doing? I'm back with you to discuss something very important regarding the real estate industry. Now, there's been some changes coming down. There's some new rules and changes that affect all agents, all buyers, and all sellers. Now, this is coming out in little pieces, but it's been in the news for a long time. So a lot of the public has read about it, read articles about it. We're starting to get seminars about it as agents and realtors. So I'm going to say right up front that many agents and realtors and even some of the public knows more about this than I do. But from what I've seen, I'm just going to give my take on it and just let it fall where it may. Okay? So what has happened is there was a class. By the way, I'm Greg Nichols. I'm the broker and owner of MFN Realty out of Roseville. We work the whole Tri-County area. So there was a class action lawsuit. I believe it started in Missouri, and it was against several major firms. I won't mention their names, and also the NAR, National Association of Realtors. And the suit was based on kind of antitrust, monopolizing those specific laws over real estate commissions. And so a handful of sellers or a group of sellers brought this lawsuit. Now, and lawyers and so forth. Now, the court went in favor of the sellers. And what happened is there was a settlement made. Some of the firms made the firms made settlements, and NAR made a settlement, and National Association of Realtors, of which I'm a member, and all the realtors you know are members of that organization, and they settled. NAR settled for a few $1 billion, and also with promises of change of protocols and procedures, which results in new rules trickle down to the lowest MLS service, which of course I'm a member in Sacramento of MetroList. And then probably if you're not in Sacramento or even California, then probably this applies in your city too. So you might want to listen up here and stay for this whole video because, and it's going to be a brief video, but I'm just going to touch on each party that was affected by what has happened. First of all, let's start with the buyers. No, I take that back. I'm going to start with the local MLS, multiple listing service. That's one who we register the listings with them and they put them out. They have a rule, and it's mandated by the court, by a settlement agreement, that they may not publish the amount of a commission to be paid or publish a commission at all in the listing. So agents, after this month, around mid-month here in August, there will no longer be the amount of the commission or any commission at all published going along with that particular listing or any listing. They're removing the field from the computer input. The field will be removed. And so now that is interesting, and then new forms are coming out, and there will be a statement on the new forms that sellers are aware that commissions are negotiable. Now, that was already on the form. I remember it. So that's been on the form for a long time because we've been through some things with these commissions before. And so that disclaimer that they are aware. So why they're bringing a lawsuit when that was on their form probably, and anyone can correct me if I'm wrong about that, is interesting. That they would bring a lawsuit when they've already signed a form that said they're aware commissions are negotiable. But if there was massive price setting, or even if it looked like there was massive price setting, the court went the way of the sellers and the settlement had to be made, the money had to be paid, and a lot of procedures now have to be changed. So that's how the local MLS is affected for the time being. And by the way, more info is coming out, and I'll keep you updated in future videos and let you know what I find out on new information. How does this affect the buyers? The buyers, all buyers now in my state, and I'm sure this is under the National Association of Realtors, so probably your state too, all buyers will have to sign a buyer's agency agreement with the agent to even be shown a house. Did you hear that? Now, last I looked, that was a very long multi-page agreement, but it is a standard agreement we've had for a long time. It's a pretty good agreement. It's a sound agreement. It actually, there's a benefit when buyers do sign it. So I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I am saying if this is kind of a big change for buyers and how they functioned in the past. If they bought a house a few years ago, it's going to be totally different when they approach buying a house this time. So if this is good or bad, we will see how this plays out. We haven't started it yet. It's starting in a few weeks. And so we'll see how this plays out. But I'm being positive about it. There are positives to have an agreement with the buyer. And and there are positives for the buyer to have an agreement with an agent. So there you go. Now, how's this going to affect sellers? Oh, by the way, one more effect on the buyers. These buyers will have to cough up their side of the commission, the buyer's side of the commission, to pay the agent and the agent's firm. And it's quite a chunk of money. Now, we're already finding out there's going to be ways for the buyers to access these funds. And it's possible that the buyer can get for an equal amount or similar amount, the buyer can get a credit at closing from the seller. So see, a lot of changes, millions of dollars of expense here, and it'll be interesting. And I'm not saying this is going to happen. It'll be interesting if this all just comes back out of the seller's pocket in the end anyway, and the only ones that made money were people that made money on that lawsuit, the sellers and their attorneys. So anyway, then so that's an interesting one, and I have more thoughts on this than I'm sharing on this video. If you want to know more what I think, you can give me a call, 916-580-7235. But now, that's how the sellers will be affected, is the sellers will see a different kind of commission structuring going on, and the sellers still may pay the buyer commission, but it's going to be structured that there's going to be other ways for it to happen besides the seller paying it. Now, I'm a marketing agent. I'm a marketer of homes. I'm a marketing specialist. I know how to market, and I can see some problems if the seller is revoking that. And so we'll see how that plays out. And I have ideas and ways to make this happen more seamlessly. So you can get with me privately if you want to find out more about this. So in the final analysis, will these lawsuits that were filed do good on society or not do good on society? You know, will they help people, or will they hurt the little common guy or gal who's struggling to buy a house, wants to buy a house? Will this hurt them or harm them? I'm not going to say one way or another, but 2 weeks ago I did a video on wisdom in your life and in my real estate, wisdom in your real estate or your business or your life. You ought to go get that video as a kind of a top listener for my following. If you want to go listen to it, it's on wisdom. But in that video, I quoted this quote from the movie Jurassic Park by Jeff Goldblum. He's talking to the owner of Jurassic Park, John Hammond, and he said, just because you could, did you ever stop to think that you should? And I'll just let that close me out. and some of my fellow agents will know exactly how that applies here, and maybe some of you astute buyers and sellers that listen to me or members of the public will understand why I said that also. So, God bless you. Now, I've got more coming out on this in the future, so if you want to hit subscribe if you're on YouTube, hit the bell, hit the like if you would, and then you will be sure to be shown and fed up some of my future videos, or all of them. And then if you're watching me on Facebook, go ahead and go back to the MFN Realty business page and hit like on that, so you can get in your feed on Facebook my future videos too. Anyway, God bless you. You have a wonderful day.